Welcome. Just getting everything set up here, allowing people to come in. Hope you guys are all having a great time today. I know I definitely am. Definitely had a really nice day today. Nice and sunny outside and working on some very cool stuff for you guys. We're building a brand new AI that I think you guys are going to really love. So before we get started, I want to tell you guys a little bit about our YouTube channel and all that as well. So we're right now streaming also to YouTube and to our LinkedIn and to a bunch of other things. So if you check us out on YouTube, you'll search for Lumiwealth, Lumiwealth. You'll be able to find us here. So here's our Lumiwealth channel. Right, and you can see that we've got a good amount of subscribers. We're growing quite nicely. And we post a lot of really good free content on here. So including what we're doing right now, this is actually live right now on YouTube. We're live also on LinkedIn, Facebook, and a bunch of other platforms as well. So take your pick. But essentially, if you guys follow us on YouTube, you're going to get a bunch of free content. We do a lot of stuff on here, talking about AI, talking about trading, all that kind of stuff. We've interviewed some pretty interesting CEOs as well. So if you guys are interested to learn more about this whole world of algo trading and using AI to trade, make sure you follow us on YouTube because you'll be getting a lot of really good content. We're actually doing a big push because we're releasing our brand new AI agent probably in the next week or two. So we're going to be talking a lot about how that works and how you guys can use that to actually produce some really amazing results. What I'm showing you today is actually going to be our old AI. And probably by this time next week, we'll have our new AI out that is going to be wildly better. It is pretty crazy what we're able to build with AI agents these days. Okay, welcome guys. It's great to see you. If you guys are on YouTube or any of our other platforms, just know that you guys can send a comment. I am reading all of your comments, all your messages. This is live. This is not a pre-recorded thing. So that's the reason why we do it live, is so that if you have any questions, we could actually address those for you and, basically, answer any kind of questions that you guys have and have a more of a discussion rather than just a one-way video. All right. Okay, cool. So today, what we're going to be talking about is going to be talking about our AI bootcamp. And we're also going to be telling you about how our AI tools work and how you could use them to generate some pretty damn cool strategies really easily. Okay. Before we jump into it, let me tell you a little bit about myself. This is myself personally. My name is Robert Grzesik. Why should you care anything about what I have to say? Well, I'm a programmer for over 25 years. I've been doing this for a long time. I learned how to code when I was like 10 years old, something like that. So you can do the math. Over 25 years, actually. I have a master's of finance degree from a top school in a Canadian university, Schulich School of Business, if you guys care what that is. I sold multiple tech companies. I started my first tech company when I was about 15 years old, sold my first company for a 7-figure sum when I was in maybe 21, 22 years old. Then went to go work on Wall Street for a while, worked at some very interesting companies, including Greystone, where we built out basically a product that I think today has probably done about $10 billion worth of mortgages. So that was pretty cool to be a part of and get to know all the people there. After that, I went off to create a company called Voyager, which is ended up becoming a $1 billion plus company. When I joined the company, it was basically just a bunch of us in a WeWork trying to figure this out. Next thing you know, we're getting investors from Uber and all that kind of stuff. And we grew this company to be worth over $1 billion before basically the whole FTX crash took it apart. So that was a fun ride. Luckily, I was able to get rid of my stock options near the peak. So I'm still pretty happy. And now what we're working on, or what I'm working on along with our team, is Lumiwealth and BotSpot. If you guys have not seen BotSpot yet, this is what I'm talking about. It's botspot.trade. We're going to be talking a lot about this website today. So I'm going to send this out to you guys on YouTube and all that. And I'm going to send this out to you guys here on Zoom as well. So wherever you guys are following, you can check out the website. This is what we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to be going through a bunch of stuff there. Okay, great. So let me tell you about the reason why this company was created to begin with. And it all starts back in 2008. Okay, so in 2008, I had saved up around $30,000 or something. To me, that was a lot of money at the time. And in 2008, just didn't really have the best trading practices and all that. I made quite a bit of money up until then, and then just lost the entire account in 2008. I think a lot of people, they got burned pretty badly as well. What I was doing was taking on too much leverage and things like that, and something that I really learned how to address later on. So how do we address that? How do we fix that? So I went from basically managing a $30,000 portfolio down to zero. And then now we're managing actually, I think a little over I think maybe $3 or $4 million is what I'm managing currently. So how did that happen, right? How do we go from 30 grand to zero right back up to a couple $1,000,000? Well, it's because of something that I learned in 2008. This is a deeply learned lesson, was that emotions are not a good way to trade or invest your money. Instead of using your gut, you want to use code. You want to use things like Excel spreadsheets and things like that. These days, it's code. It makes a lot more sense, especially with AI. But basically, what happened is back in the day in 2008, making a lot of emotional decisions like, oh yeah, the stocks are going to go back up again, and was betting a lot on bank stocks. But when I went to grad school, I basically learned a new way of how to invest and how to trade. And it's a much more data-centric approach where we're actually able to back test, go back in time and see how all of our strategies would have done over time if we had followed certain rules, right? So today we call that back testing. But back in the day, what it was basically I pulled out an Excel spreadsheet and wrote down every single day the price of the S&P 500 and any other stocks that I cared about, right? And you can see the prices day by day. You're able to download this information from Yahoo Finance and some other places. And basically what you would do is you'd go, I start with $10,000, and then the next day, if you owned 100% of it in SPY, then it'd be worth X amount the next day. And you could basically track the value of your portfolio throughout the entire process. I didn't know it, but at the time, this is early stages of what people would begin to call back testing, right? And this enabled going through this type of approach really helped me learn a lot more about what are the smart ways to actually invest your money, right? Instead of just let's buy Tesla on a whim or whatever, right? There are ways that you could actually do risk management properly. There are ways that you can take on leverage without blowing up your account. There are ways that you can invest in certain types of things without having problems in the future. And back testing, data-driven approaches to trading are honestly, it's not only is it myself and our clients that are seeing this, but we're seeing even top hedge funds get amazing results doing this stuff, right? If you look at some of the best hedge funds in the world, Ray Dalio's hedge fund, we're talking about all these different funds online. They're all doing back testing. They're all using computers to make decisions for them or assist them with decisions. And that is a much better way to invest rather than, hey, I like the stock or whatever, right? Okay, so because of that, we created Lumiwealth and we created BotSpot so we can make that a lot easier for you guys. Lumiwealth, we've been teaching people how to build these types of strategies and back test things over a long period of time. We've been doing this for over 5 years now. And we've also now created a brand new AI that you guys can use to do this a lot easier. We used to spend literally months or years, sometimes even teaching people how to do this. Now you can do it with just a couple clicks and talking to an AI. So it's actually quite incredible. So here's our agenda for today. This is what I'm going to show you how to do. I'm going to show you, first of all, a live demo of how we go from a prompt, so basically just English text, all the way to a Python trading bot that actually is functional and can trade for you. I'll show you how to do back testing. We're going to take a look at annual growth rates and drawdowns and Sharpe ratios and things like that. I'm going to also show you how to do a one-click deployment. And then I'm also going to show you about our, we're going to have a Q&A, and we're going to show you our bootcamp if you guys want to learn a little bit more. All right. Okay, so let's dive into it. So here's a live demo. First of all, what we're going to do is we're basically going to describe a strategy in plain English, right? What do you want to trade? Let's describe that in plain English. We're going to see the AI write the full code in Python. It's going to take a few seconds to do that. And then we're going to be able to back test and deploy that, right? Okay, so here's a little prompt cheat sheet. And let me share this with you guys so that you have access to this as well. So I'm going to share this with you guys here on YouTube and LinkedIn and all the different places that you guys are watching. All right, share that link with you. Okay, so if you guys want to follow along in the presentation, or if you want to actually get this prompt cheat sheet, you can get it from that link I just shared. Okay, and I'm going to put this back onto full screen. So here's a couple of examples. Here's a few things that you can do. So for example, let's say you want to make a stock trading bot, right? A stock, or I guess in this case, an ETF trading bot. What you could write to the AI is you could say, make a bot that trades TQQQ. This is a triple leverage NASDAQ. It's an incredible, if you guys haven't seen this ETF, it has a really, really amazing track record. But the problem is TQQQ has a very big drawdowns. So we built a little bot kind of around that. So this is what we told the AI. We said, make a bot that trades TQQQ based on the 200-day moving average. Buy TQQQ when the price is above the 200-day moving average and sell when it is below. And I'll show you guys when we actually back test this, I'll show you why we did that. We were able to actually get into this and say, well, TQQQ makes you a ton of money. Actually, let me show you that right now. Here's TQQQ, right? If you take a look at it over a long time period, it is up a lot. It is up 20,000% since the beginning of it. So this is, it started in about 2010. So since 2010, it's up 21,000%. That's crazy. That's like 210 times your money if you put it into this, right? So fantastic investment. I think I own a bunch of this, right? But the thing is, you see these giant drawdowns, right? So this is where most people are going to get scared away, right? Fine, 21,000% sounds incredible until you realize that you're going to be going through this kind of stuff. So here, for example, look, November 5th, it was at $85. And then we went through a bear market, and it really didn't take that long. From November 5th to, let's say, December 13th, it dropped to 20 bucks. So we're talking about, what is that, 75, 80% loss over the course of 3 months. That's going to make anyone's stomach turn, right? So that's why we designed this specific strategy where we could say, let's trade the TQQQ, and instead of simply holding it the whole way through, let's trade it. We could do some momentum trading with it, right? And you see that we actually get much better risk profile because of that, right? So that's one thing that you could say to the AI, right? You could also say something like this. You could say, make a bot that buys at the money call options on SPY, expiring 1 month or more out and selling a week before expiry. Use 7% of the account value each time and buy more options when you don't own any, right? So very simple, right? If you guys are options traders, you'll know what I'm talking about here. This is basically one of the simplest kind of option strategies you can do. Buy an option, hold it for a week, and then roll it over. You're simply rolling options over each and every time. A lot of people will do this if you're betting on something going up, right? So for example, here in this AI prompt, we're saying use SPY, but you could just as easily do this with Palantir. You could do this just as easily with Robinhood. You know, these are stocks that have been absolutely killing it. We can create a strategy like that very simply. Type in that text into the AI. It will produce it for you. You could back test it, and you could actually run this thing very, very easily, right? You can also do other things like we could also trade futures. We could also trade crypto. So if you're wondering, we do trade other asset classes as well. But another example here is using the news, right? You might be able, if you want to make a strategy that trades the news, we could do is you could say, make a strategy that buys all the companies that beat earnings yesterday, sell everything at the end of the day at 3:55 p.m., and buy any companies that beat on earnings the day before. So basically, if they beat earnings, if they had a good earnings response, then you'll buy those companies and you can hold them, right? Basically for a day. Buy them as soon as you can and hold them until 3:55 p.m. So very simple. We put in this prompt and we get a very nice response out, and you'll see that we can actually have a trading bot made for us very, very easily, back test this, and actually see it working very quickly. Okay, so let's see it in action. Okay, so let's create this for you. So we're going to go, I'm going to grab this first prompt here. I shared with you guys the prompt cheat sheet, so you can follow along with me if you want. And we're going to go in here and we're going to click on create AI strategy. So first I'm going to log in. That's if you guys have not signed up yet, you could sign up through here. We do have a 7-day free trial if you guys want to try that out. But let me show you what this looks like. I'm going to log in. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to say create an AI strategy, and I'm going to simply type in here what we had in our prompt cheat sheet, right? So make a bot that trades TQQQ. Again, you can very easily change this to anything else. If you want to swing trade something else, you want to swing trade Palantir, you want to swing trade Robinhood, whatever the heck you guys want to do, NVIDIA, right? All very hot topics. You can very easily change this prompt to be specifically for that, so you can swing trade any kind of stock that you want. Okay, so we're going to type that in. We're going to hit generate strategy. We'll see it takes about 60 seconds to a minute, depending on, or sorry, 60 seconds to 2 minutes, depending on kind of the details of this. I think last time I did this, it took about 60 something seconds. But basically what's happening behind the scenes is we have sent this to our AI that is custom made specifically for creating trading strategies. We've custom trained it on that sort of thing. And then when it comes back, it's going to give you back Python code. So for those of you that are coders, you could actually see the Python code. You could use that Python code to do whatever the heck you want, or you could keep it on the platform and we'll very easily make you, give you the ability to backtest and deploy that as well. Right? So there we go. You see that the code got generated. Again, this is stuff, it used to literally take people months to learn how to do this. Now you can literally type that in and get a response really, really easily. You'll see that a diagram actually gets generated as well. We'll give it a second to build that out. Okay, but you can see here, for those of you that do know how to read Python code, you could actually read through and see all the details of how the strategy works. Even if you're someone who doesn't know Python, there's a lot of comments in here in plain English if you want to read basically the details of what it's doing, right? If you're running something with money, you might want to actually look into a little bit more in depth, right? So one way to do that is to skim through the code and basically just read what it's actually doing, right? Another way to do that is to take a look at the diagram. So let me refresh the page really quickly. Sometimes it takes some time to load. I'll show you guys the diagram of how this works. So it's still taking a little while to generate, right? Once that diagram generates, what you'll see is that you actually see a flow chart of how all this works. You'll see it's actually making decisions, going down a specific decision tree. Do I buy? Do I sell? Do I do this? Do I do that? You can actually see that in diagram form very easily and be able to see exactly what is going on. Okay, so let's see if I can get this to show up. There we go. Okay, here's our diagram. So here's what this one looks like in particular, right? You can see here, basically it starts off, I'll zoom in a little bit more. We'll say, get the 250-day bars for TQQQ. And then do you have the bars? Yes. If yes, then compute the simple moving average for the 200-day simple moving average. If the price is above the 200-day moving average, then either hold TQQQ, or if the price is below, then you would sell your position and then log this and hold on to cash, right? So very simple. You can kind of walk through exactly what this strategy is going to be doing. So even if you're someone who does not understand code, you can actually go through a diagram and understand all the details of what it's doing, okay? The next, what we're going to do is we're going to do some back testing, okay? So here's a little bit about what we're going to do. We're going to back test this. It's going to take a few minutes to do this. You're going to run a 1-year historical test. And actually, we're going to do longer than 1 year. We're going to go longer. And we're going to see things like our compound annual growth rate. We'll see a trading view chart and a bunch of other things, okay? So I'm going to hit back test strategy. I'm going to go back to 2012 because that's a little bit after TQQQ came out. You can see here that when I select this date range, I'm going from January 1st, 2012, all the way till January 25th, 2025. So something like 13 and a half years, we're going to do this back test. You can see that I covered all these different time periods like the China crisis, the correction in 2028, the COVID-19 crash in 2020, which we all remember that one, and the 2022 bear market. You see that we cover all that stuff. I'm just going to hit run back test, and you'll see this thing go off and run a back test for me. We'll be able to watch it as it progresses, and we'll see what the results of this are. So what is this strategy like? Right. So we are again running this prompt right here. Any guesses as to what kind of results we're going to get for this? This is a very simple strategy. All we're doing is swing trading the TQQQ. Very simple. What kind of results do you think we're going to get when we do something like this? Do you think we're going to beat the stock market? Do you think we're not going to beat the stock market? How do you think we compare? You know, there's usually benchmarks we can compare to like that. You know, we'll usually compare this to the SPY or something along those lines. Let's see what we get here. All right, there you go. Okay, so we got our backtesting results. So here we have a backtest that's going from 2012 to 2025, right? So about 13 and a half years. Over that time period, we got a really nice annual return. It's a 38% annual return. If you guys compare that to stock market, okay, compare the stock market over the same time period, did around 10 or 12% returns. So we're talking about triple the stock market returns. That's pretty damn good for something this simple, right? Drawdown of about 50%, which is a little bit worse than the stock market, but not too bad, right? And we can see our Sharpe ratio. We can see the total return over this time period is over 8,000% return, which basically means here it's 8,400%, which is going to work out to, if you put in, let's say if you put in 10,000 bucks, that means that would have grown 84 times. It would have been worth $840,000 after 13 years. I'd say that's a pretty damn good result, right? So here, let's take a look at, we can get into all the details, right? Let's take a look at our tear sheet, right? Which is going to give us more of a breakdown exactly what happened here. So here we can see in the blue is our actual strategy, how that ran. And then in the yellow, we could see SPY, and we just absolutely dominated the stock market. It almost looks like SPY is flat compared to what we're doing, and it's one of the most successful stock markets on earth. You can see here again, 38% a year, or 8,400% over the whole time period of this test. We can see here, even comparing it to SPY versus our strategy. You see S&P 500 did 530% over the time period. Still pretty damn good. I mean, to be quite fair, stock market has made a lot of millionaires, but this is absolutely, we just absolutely dominated it. Like, it's not even close. You know what I mean? We went 530% versus 8,400%. It's not even close to the same thing. And if you go through here, you can actually see all the different breakdowns. You can see our Sharpe ratios better, SPY versus our strategy. You can see all the different metrics, how we're correlated to the stock market. You can see a Sortino ratio, all the different ratios they might like to look at. You could see us versus the benchmark, which is S&P 500, volatility matched. You see that we're still outperforming it. You see how the monthly returns are distributed. You can see the rolling betas. If you want to get it really, really technical, you guys can get super, super technical here, including how deep underwater we're each time, that there was a drawdown. You can see the monthly returns, what did each month do in particular. And you can really break down a lot of details around the strategy, right? And this is just one single strategy. We're just talking about one prompt. We were able to do this literally in seconds, right? We gave this to the AI, it produced it for us, and we hit backtest, and that's all we had to do to make this strategy work. And I'd say that's a pretty damn good result for something that was that simple, right? We can also get deeper into it, right? If you click this big blue button here, view details, you could actually get into the details of exactly how this works. So here you see still our annual return, max drawdown, total return, all that. And if you let it load, you'll see this trading view chart as well, where we can get into really a lot of details, right? When did it buy? When did it sell? Why did it do that? Right? So here's the value of TQQQ. Here's our indicator, the simple moving average. We're just using one indicator in this scenario. It's a very, very simple strategy. You can see that we sold here. You can see that we bought back here. So buys and sells are all mapped out. And you can see basically your cash going up and down as you're placing all those trades. So for example, you could look at here, why did we sell here, right? Well, because when you look at the price of TQQQ and then you look at our indicator, right? TQQQ is around what, 50 something bucks, 52. Our indicator was around 60. So we dipped below our indicator, that triggered a sell, and we held on to cash basically for some time here. And then we entered back in around here and bought back, and we're able to actually swing trade this thing and make some really nice returns because of it, right? Or if you want, you can even scroll down a bit further. You can see all the different buys and sells that happen here over the entire course of this, right? So buy, sell, buy, sell. You can see what your trading fees would have been. We also simulate trading fees. You can see how your account value changed. You can get all the details behind every single trade that happened and really break down, is this the strategy that you want to be using? If you wanted to, we could even go back and say edit in the AI builder. And you could actually now even go in and say, no, I want to change this thing to do something else, right? You could say, oh, instead of using TQQQ, let's use this other symbol. Let's try this or try that. It's very easy for you to modify this. Just type in here, refine your strategy. If you want to change symbols or anything else about your strategy, very simple. You hit refine and you can have the AI automatically do that for you. Okay. Or let's say you want to run this thing, and I think this is a pretty damn nice strategy to run. You could basically hit deploy strategy. Very simple. You'll see this deploy come up when you open this up. You could choose your broker. We use Alpaca. That's the one that we recommend. Alpaca is a fantastic broker. If you guys haven't heard of them, they're these guys out of Silicon Valley. I think they recently raised something like $80 million, 60, 70, $80 million, something like that, to build out their platform. They're doing really, really well. Alpaca is just absolutely killing it. But you can also choose a bunch of other brokers. Let's say you like to trade futures. You could use Tradeovate. You could use Top Step, Top One futures. You could use Tradier to trade options. You have a bunch of different types of brokers they could choose from. I'm going to leave it on Alpaca. And then you can go ahead and connect your account. So in this case, I already have my account connected. But let me show you how that works, right? I'll disconnect this. I'll hit connect Alpaca again, just to show you how this actually functions. I'm going to log into my Alpaca account very simply here. And then I'm going to get bot spot 2. I'm going to get this 2FA token. I'm going to sign in there. And once you've logged into your account, it's as easy as just picking what do you want to trade with, right? Do you want to trade with a live account? This account in particular doesn't have a live one, but they do give you 3 paper trading accounts, so really easy to use. I'm going to pick this one here, test, and then hit allow. And you'll see this thing connect, and we'll be able to actually start trading with this thing very, very easily, right? And all you got to do is hit the big deploy button. We hit deploy. We see some nice confetti come down, and that's it. And we're going to have ourselves a nice running bot. We've ran the back test. So just to kind of do a quick recap, we went from basically just plain English describing what we want the strategy to do. We gave it to the AI. It produced it for us. We were able to back test it, see all the results. How is all the stuff working? What kind of returns do we get? All that kind of stuff. And then we're now able to deploy it all within a couple minutes. Very super simple to do all this stuff. If you guys have your own trading strategies, you can build those yourselves as well and see exactly how all this works, right? Here we'll see view live performance. And we could see basically it started trading $100,000 in the account, 103,000, and then some cash sitting around. And so far the return is 0. And of course it is 0 because it hasn't started yet, right? The market's actually closed right now. Okay. So super simple, got a bot up and running, and that's all we had to do to make this thing functional. Cool. All right. So there we go. We have our back test, we have our deployment, and that's everything for the live demo. Is there any questions that you guys have about any of that? We can actually build out a lot of strategies. I actually have some questions for you guys. Is what kind of strategies would you like to make? What are the strategies that you guys have on your minds? Do you guys like to trade futures, options, crypto, stocks? What kind of strategies would you guys actually like to use to automate and to trade for you? So for those of you that are on YouTube or for those of you that are on Zoom, feel free to put in the comment. Or even if you guys are watching the recording afterwards, put it into the comments as well. Let me know what kind of strategies you guys want to see next. Right? So we can build those for you and actually show you how these things work. Right? Okay. Cool. So let me tell you also about our pro plan. So if you guys wanted to try that out, you guys could go to our website, sign up, spot.trade. You can get a 7-day free trial and actually try this stuff out yourself. Okay. However, if you guys want to have a little bit of extra help, right? And a lot of people, Asif says, hi. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Asif, hi, nice to meet you. So for those of you guys that want to take this even to a step further, you can go to BotSpot. You could use BotSpot to create your own strategies. But a lot of people, even with AI, they still struggle, right? And we've put together a package here to basically help you guys out and even take this to the next level, right? So first of all, we have an AI bootcamp that's starting on the 21st of August, okay? It's a 5-week-long bootcamp. We're going to show you exactly how to go from a trading idea to actually create this idea and have it work for you, how to backtest, all that kind of stuff. We're going to cover a lot of different things. Let me show you basically what this bootcamp is going to be about. Okay, so here's our AI bootcamp. I'm going to share this page with you guys as well. There we go. Okay, so this is our bootcamp that's going to be starting on August 21st. For those of you that want to learn a little bit more about how to do this stuff, it's a 5-week-long bootcamp. It's taking place every Thursday. If you go through this page, you can learn a lot about what we're doing. We actually have also a sale going on right now, by the way, where you can save yourself $1,000 before next week. Hey, but let me tell you about what this boot camp is about. So here is here is from week 1, right? So week 1 is recovering vibe coding. So for those of you that have never done any kind of coding in your life, have you guys ever heard of, who here has heard of vibe coding? Let's start with that. Who here has actually heard of vibe coding or tried to do some sort of vibe coding? All right. Well, if you guys haven't done it, okay, what is vibe coding exactly? Okay. So basically what you're able to do is you're able to talk to code and you're able to say to it, build me this website or do this or do that. You know what I mean? We've been able to see a lot of people do things through Lovable or through Cursor. You can actually put together some pretty sophisticated websites pretty damn easily now using simply either typing out your words or even voice. You know, that's usually how I code these days, is actually speak and say, change this, move this here. So we're going to show you how to use that. We're going to show you how to use the latest tools, VS Code, Cursor, Claude Code. We're going to show you how to put together basically your own little trading analysis tool, right? So you'll be able to put together a little website that can help you analyze what stocks you want to invest in or what crypto you want to invest in. It'll actually be able to go off and do a bunch of these things for you. We'll show you how to do that inside of Claude Code or VS Code or Cursor. We'll show you how to put this thing together very simply and easily. You'll be shocked at how easy it is these days to actually put together a little website that can do all this stuff for you. So week 1, that's what we're going to be covering. Week 2, we're going to be talking about foundations. We're going to show you how to backtest. We're going to show you how to deploy a strategy and all the foundational stuff on like how do you put stuff into this AI and actually have it generate stuff for you, backtest stuff for you, and all that kind of thing. Week 3 here, we're going to cover technical analysis, and then we're going to show you how to launch and do live trading. Right, so you'll be able to do technical analysis on things like MACD, RSI, Fibonacci's, and all the other technical analysis stuff that you guys might want to do. We'll show you how to do error handling and debugging. We'll show you how to integrate with different brokers like Alpaca, Tradier, and all these different kind of brokers, interactive brokers, Schwab. We work with a bunch of different brokers. We'll show you how to connect all that. And then week 4, we're going to cover how to trade crypto and how to do news-based trading. So if you want to trade using the news, or if you want to trade any kind of crypto coins, we're going to show you how to do that. We'll show you how to connect to Coinbase, Kraken, KuCoin, all those different things. And we'll show you how to use different data sources to actually backtest that. And then in week 5, we'll show you about options and futures, on how you can create these different trading strategies for options and futures, and put that all together. Throughout all of this, you're going to have homework that's very hands-on. So we designed this course specifically to be very hands-on. So when you guys come out of it, you're going to come out of it with working strategies that are hopefully making some very good money for you, and strategies and the ability to basically create new types of strategies and new types of ways to analyze things and build out hopefully things that really make the hedge funds jealous. Right? Okay, cool. So that's what you're going to get. First of all, in the pro plan, you're going to get our AI bootcamp, which is this 5-week-long course. That'll teach you everything from basically how to do vibe coding basics, creating your own website for analyzing stocks or crypto. And then we're going to end off with options and futures. We're going to basically cover the whole spectrum of how you're going to create and execute these trading bots. You're also going to get access to our prompt library. So we're going to give you a bunch of different prompts that you can use right out of the box. We're going to give you 50 pre-built trading algorithms. This is super valuable. We've been working on trading strategies for over 5 years now. We're going to give you guys all the 50 different strategies. It's actually almost 100, I think now, different strategies that we've created over the years. And some of them are pretty damn cool. We have strategies in crypto. We have strategies in options. We have stock trading strategies. We have future strategies that we start to develop now as well. So all of these things, you're going to have these pre-built algorithms. You're going to get access to our entire database of all the algorithms we've made over time. I'm going to read what you guys are writing here. So Outrageous Trader, thanks for reaching out, says, thanks for great video information update. Please don't stop helping the community. Great job. Thanks. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I want to build my own trading bot. Please help me. Thanks again. Great job for Trading Future. Yeah, so I don't know if you caught our earlier in this video, if you want to go to botspot.trade, you could actually check out our AI that can help you create your own trading strategies. We're going to be releasing a brand new AI actually next week. That's going to be mind-blowing. Honestly, I can't wait to show you guys this. We're going to be doing another workshop like this next week where I'm going to show you the mind-bending ability of our brand new AI agents and what they can do, because it's crazy what these things are now able to do. So if you want to do that, check out botspot.trade. There's a 7-day free trial if you want to check that out. And you can also join our pro plan, and we'll show you basically if you want more help, if you want to go through a course, I'll basically explain everything for you. If you want to have our prompt library, if you want to have 50 different algorithms that just work right out of the box, you can join our pro plan. We'll give you all that. Kind of just, instead of you go through the website, you learn how to do it on your own, we'll just give it all to you and basically help walk you through all that, right? As part of the pro plan, you guys also get our Tuesday live algo hours. So we basically, every Tuesday, we make new trading algorithms. We actually hosted one last night, and we got some futures trading stuff working. So we actually got a futures trading algorithm working on top one. So you guys can actually check that out. That's something that we built yesterday. It was really cool. You also get access to our private Discord community, and you get 2 one-on-one consults per month. So these can actually help you produce a lot of stuff. So 30 minutes twice per month, you guys will get a chance to build a lot of things. So if you guys want that extra help, if you guys are really, really into building some trading strategies, you have something that you have in mind, or if you just want to get access to all the trading strategies that we've built, check out our pro plan. This is the way to take things to the next level. Right? So let's talk about what this plan could be worth, right? So here's our pro plan. Here's basically everything inside of it. So let's say our AI bootcamp, okay? It's a 5-week long class, okay? What would you typically pay for a live 5-week long class? Well, if you went to something like Virginia Tech, or if you went to another kind of school like that and took a course on how to do AI and machine learning and things like that, which we'll be teaching you in this class, you'd be paying something like $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. Some classes, some courses, or some colleges charge even more than that. In this case, let's say, being conservative, $5,000 for a course like that, I'd say is pretty average. If you want to get a prompt library, you're probably going to be paying something like $200 for prompts that you put into an AI and get back some pretty unique value. If you want to get all these pre-made algorithms, let's say you want to find these pre-made algorithms somewhere else on the internet, take a look at some of our competitors. They'll be charging you anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 pre-made algorithms that you guys can run right out of the box. Our Tuesday live algo hour. This is something where you could join in. Let's say you have a strategy in mind. You could actually bring up that strategy and we will build it for you live during these Tuesday sessions. Now, this is basically like having your own software engineer that can build whatever the heck you want to build. 52 weeks a year for 4 hours every single week. What would you pay for that? Well, if you paid even an average developer, someone who's not even that great, $100 an hour, you're going to be paying at least $9,000 a year for a service like that, right? If you want to get access to a private Discord community, there's tons of these around the internet for trading and all that kind of stuff. You're usually paying something like $90 a month for any kind of good Discord community. And if you want to get 2 one-on-one consults per month, if you want to do this with a half decent developer that actually knows what the heck they're doing, you're going to be spending something like $300 a month for this, right? So in total, if you want to take everything that we have in our pro plan and put it together, it would cost you something like $18,000 to do this, right? If you want to get a course like this, like our AI bootcamp course that's starting on August 21st, you're going to be paying something like $5,000 for that course. You're going to be paying something like $200 for a prompt library. You'll be paying something like $2,500 for these algorithm templates. You'll be paying something like $9,000 to hire a developer. and you'll be paying like $1,000 for a Discord community, and then $300 a month for these one-on-one consults. So in total, we're talking about something like an $18,000 value. Okay? We're going to do it for a heck of a lot cheaper than that. Okay, but before we do that, let me tell you about a couple things. First of all, here's what our members are saying. You guys can check us out on Trustpilot. Feel free to check us out. We actually have a lot of reviews on there. We've been doing this for some time. So if you want to go on Trustpilot, take a look here. An outrageous trader, you're saying that you're not hearing the sound. Are the rest of you guys hearing the sound? I'm actually seeing that my console here is showing it. So hopefully you guys are able to hear me. So here is our Trustpilot. If you want to check us out, we have a 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot. The only reason we're not a perfect 5 out of 5 is because one person gave us 4 stars instead of 5. But you can check us out. We have a ton of different things here. So Maurizio, for example, said it was such a good program. I'd recommend it to anyone wanting to create a trading bot. There's Ali who said the pro plan is a great value. I could fork any algorithm and make it my own. Worth said it's impressive watching Robert turn an idea into an algorithm in no time. Robert being myself. So thank you for that, Worth. So if you want to check us out on Trustpilot, we do have really good ratings. We also do provide a 30-day guarantee. So if you guys buy the pro plan for whatever reason, if you hate it, we really don't get that very often because people are very happy with what they get. But for whatever reason, if you want to have your money back, we have a 30-day money back guarantee. So you can get your money back, no questions asked, if that's something that you want. Okay. We don't ask any questions if you want your money back. Okay. Right. Okay. So we're talking about something like an $18,000 value. So what are we selling this for right now? Well, actually, right now we're supporting our summer sale. This is normally we'd have this for $3,000, and it's a $200 a month after that. Right now, instead of paying $3,000, $2,999, you can get it today and for the next about a week, right? This expires on August 5th. So next Tuesday, this goes up by $1,000. So if you guys want to save yourselves $1,000 on the pro plan, sign up today or sign up before next Tuesday, and you guys can save yourselves $1,000. If you guys want, we could also do that as a 3 monthly payments if you prefer to pay this in payments that way as well. All right. Okay, cool. So I've showed you guys a couple things. I've showed you our AI that can create trading strategies for you. I've shown you our pro plan. I've shown you how to deploy and backtest all these different strategies. What questions do you guys have for me? And for those of you that are on YouTube or if you're on LinkedIn or anything like that, feel free to type in there and you can just let me know if you have any questions. I have been responding to a few people throughout this whole process. So let me know if you guys have any questions about anything that we covered today. And if you guys do have any questions in the future, you're also able to message us at support@lumiwealth.com. So I'm going to type that in to the chat here, support@lumiwealth.com, if you guys want to do that. You guys can also go to our website. We have a little chat on our website. We also have a Discord channel if you guys want to get on there and message us that way. Either way, if you guys have any questions, please let me know or send us a line and we can get back to you very quickly. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure. Hope you guys have a good night. And I hope to see you in our one of our classes in the future or to help you out with launching any kind of strategies that you guys are looking to do on in terms of trading crypto, stocks, futures, or options, right? All right. Have a good night, guys.